Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
What's up? Welcome to another edition of Fight Mixer. We are here live with the champ, the man himself, the man who is going to be taking on Tommy Fury August 29th, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing great. I feel great. I look great. I'm the great.
Fuck yeah, man. And, congratulations on getting the fight. Like, hardest secret to keep, like, especially when you told me, you're like, holy shit, I might be fighting Tommy Fury. Don't tell anybody. Like, hardest secret to keep. So, like, congratulations on getting the fight. But one question. I know you're in Puerto Rico right now, training hard with Jake Paul and Jake Paul's camp. Jake Paul, of course, is getting ready for Tyron Woodley. But how the hell did this fight get made?
All right. As to your first question, I'm actually back in LA training with Antonio McKee, getting ready for this fight 3 weeks notice. Weeks out. So I'm back in LA right now. So I was supposed to fight July 3rd in Germany. Jake Paul and his team reached out to me June 17th, said, hey, I would like to have you for my camp for the Tyron Woodley fight. Can you make it out here? I'm like, cool, let's go. So I canceled that fight July 3rd in Germany. I canceled that fight. So I was out there for 3 weeks. I had another fight lined up August 1st for Cage Warriors in San Diego. I canceled Cage Warriors due to some disputes that I didn't like. So I didn't fight on Cage Warriors August 1st. So being there for a month, they was like, hey, I have an opportunity for you if you want to change your life. Have you heard of Tommy Fury? I'm like, yeah, I know who Tommy Fury is. He's like, I want you to fight Tommy Fury on my undercard and beat his ass so he never has to say my name again.
Wow. Holy shit. And that's a big fight. Yeah. And that's a big fight that they were trying to, like, Showtime was trying to make. And listen, like, I'm on your side no matter what. Like, so people would be saying, okay, well, Anthony, he's an MMA fighter, and he's going against Tyson Fury's brother. But, I must be constipated because I don't give a shit if you're fighting Jesus Christ's uncle. Like, I'm going to side with you no matter what. Like, how's the preparations been for, as an MMA fighter, getting ready to fight Tyson Fury's little brother?
Well, it's funny. I'm not a kickboxer. I'm not a Muay Thai fighter, and I'm not a Dutch kickboxer. I specialize in MMA either in both boxing and wrestling with Antonio. So whenever I get ready for an MMA fight, I do my sparring at like gyms like at Jackrabbit up in Long Beach, or I go to Lightning's boxing gym up in Oakland. So I do about three days a week of sparring at different sparring sessions at gyms with professional boxers. And then I do my MMA training with wrestling with Antonio McKee and that fighter.
Cool. Mr. Gabe, you got a question?
So I know you we talked a while ago. You were going to Jake Paul's to spar. Obviously, the sparring must have gone well because he invited you into the camp. Going back to our first conversation, we never talked after that. What happened in that sparring session? I know that you signed NDAs and stuff, but obviously he thought highly enough for you to come out and help him for his camp. But what specifically was about the training that changed his mind about having you come into his camp?
So here's the number one thing people get this mixed up with Jake, right? everybody comes in with the mentality of Jake's a YouTuber, Jake's a YouTuber, Jake's a YouTuber. When I went to Miami, my mindset was, you step in that cage or you step in that ring, I don't give a damn if you're a plumber. I don't give a damn if you're a nanny. You step in that cage with me, I'm coming at you as a fighter. So that's what happened when I went to Miami and me and Jake got in that ring. I didn't give a damn if he was a YouTuber. I came at him as if he was a fighter. I didn't care what type of abilities he had. I came at him looking for a fight. And that's what I do with everybody who steps in that ring. I don't give a damn if you're my mom. You signed that contract.
Fuck yeah, man. And by the way, I know you're back at Antonio McKee's camp. And congratulations to AJ McKee with a huge win, winning the title at Bellator. Impressive fashion, first round, winning in big fashion. So what's the strategy going? Not give me the entire picture, because Tommy Fury, he's relatively young in his career. He only has I think 3 or 4 wins. It's not. It's against, like, as all good beginner boxers should, fighting journeymen to begin with. Like Tyson Fury, I see some tendencies here and there, but like, what have you seen thus far with Tommy Fury? Because everyone expecting Tommy Fury to win, except maybe you, me, and the MMA community, and like, of course, the people that train with Antonio McKee and the fighters that come out of that camp, because obviously you're a fucking animal if you train with Antonio McKee. So, like, without telling us what's behind door number 1, what have you noticed with Tommy Fury's style that you're able to take advantage of in the fight?
Tommy Fury is just a big brute on steroids who I see a million times in the fight game. His muscles are for show. My muscles are for go. When you look at fighters, a fighter who has a name that last name like of his brother Tyson Fury, you gotta expect, is he as good as Tyson? Is he a promising boxer? And when you look at his opponents that he's fought and beaten, that's a sad record, man. Yeah, you're 6-0 and 4 knockouts, but how you win by points on your debut against a guy is 10 wins and 126 losses. That's some disrespectful stuff. You fight your first guy is 10 wins and 126 losses. Your second fight as a pro is 0 wins, 26 losses. Your third fight as a pro is 2 wins, 26 losses, 0-11, 0-9, 2-0. Now, that right there tells you the level of where you are at in your career in boxing. It clearly tells you, hey, you haven't had enough amateur fights for you to be fighting those type of level of guys. Now, when you look at me, a lot of people in the MMA community, they're looking at it like, well, Tommy's actually fighting somebody now who was actually an experienced fighter, and he's not fighting a guy who has no ambition. All those fighters that Tommy's fought, those guys had no ambition to fight him. They were being paid to fight. If I'm in England and I'm Tommy and you guys are Germans and these promotions say, hey, I'm going to pay you 8,000 pounds a month just to take some dives, that's a decent living for a guy living in England who's a journeyman making 8,000 pounds a month just to take a couple of dives a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish I got into MMA and I fought a guy who was 10 wins and 126 losses in Bellator, But, your debut is against a guy 0-26 in Bellator MMA. Okay, great. I wish we had those, but it's boxing.
What is the weight disparity? Or are you guys roughly the same weight?
He walks around about 210 pounds. I walk around naturally now, walk around about 185 pounds. But the weight that we're fighting at is at 180, so he's coming down weight. This whole camp, I just bulked on a lot of muscle and speed.
Yeah, and what I noticed about Tommy Fury, especially watching his fights, is he uses so much of his jab. Like he'll use the jab to test the waters, and if it's a little bit dangerous, he's not going to proceed in the pocket. But if he sees that the opponent's timid, then he's going to bulldoze and rush it. But he circles towards the power hand. Like we got to talk offline, but like I see different things from a fan point of view. That he's obviously a beginner, and I think people are blowing it way out of proportion. Where he's not a world beater, he's not a killer just yet. He's relatively new in his career, and obviously this is your first boxing fight, right?
Yeah, no, second. Here's the thing with Tommy. This is how Tommy looks at how the fight's going to go. And I'm going to kid you not. Tommy flies to Cleveland, Ohio. He steps in the ring. He faces off with Jake Paul. Forgetting that he even has a fight with me. That's how he's looking. He forgot that he had to fight that night. That's how he's looking at it. He just thinks he's going to pull one of those, knock me out, I'm done. You know, it's, you know, I'm not going to take nothing from Tommy, but like, bro, I fought guys bigger, stronger than you. Come on, bro. I've been dodging jabs since amateurs. Like, come on, bro. Like, you act like I can't dodge a jab. Like, move your head, duck and weave. That's what defense. He's very predictable. He has no skills. You know, how would they say, he's not a promising fighter or a prospect. He's just an average brute who's just taller and intimidates people because of his muscles. That you can't intimidate me, brother. I've been in there with the killers. I've been in there with the monsters and beasts. I've been in there with a lot of people are forgetting that he's only 5 inches taller than me. Like, bro, I'm 5'7". My whole 55, 45 career, everybody's 5'11", 6 feet. They're your height, Tommy. What's the difference?
Yeah. Exactly. And do you plan on staying with boxing, or I'm sorry, Gabe, I think Gabe had a question, but do you plan on
wait.
Oh yeah, after this question, do you plan on sticking with boxing, like whether you win or win? And I get it, I'm pulling for you to win, but do you plan on sticking with boxing or going back and forth to MMA?
Just know this. If I win this fight, you won't see me in MMA cage for another 2 years.
Cool. Right on.
So you said that this is your second boxing fight. In your first, was it amateur or pro? And was it a win or a loss? And how?
So I'll break it down for you. So back in 2017, I took a pro fight. I went through a mental health crisis. Had a mental breakdown. I became homeless, desperate. I needed some money. You know, I was about to get kicked out of my apartment, and a promoter was like, "Hey, you want to fight for $700?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need it. When's the fight?" He was like, "Hey, it's 2 days from now." I'm like, "Okay, what's your weight?" I'm like, 165. Okay, I got a guy you can fight. You know, so I took down on 2-day notice. Didn't even train. I just made the weight just so I can make money. This is the time when my record was 2-5 in MMA. I was on like a skid, going through a really tough time. I lost that fight by split decision. The guy went on to go of a pro record of 6 wins and 2 losses now. Dante Stubbs, that's his record. You know, so I was at a very dark place in my time when I fought that match. You know, I mean, I kind of wish I didn't, but it is what it is. I mean, look at, Bernard Hopkins. He lost his first fight, and look where he's at now. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying I'm Bernard Hopkins, but I'm just saying, hey, things can turn around.
I was going to say, no disrespect to you whatsoever, but Bernard Hopkins is Bernard Hopkins. That man is I get what you're saying, absolutely, but B-Hop is a different animal, man. But maybe you could be the next. How old are you?
I'm 32. What you're saying is, if I do it right, I could be like Adonis Stevenson.
Well, but Bernard Hopkins started later in his career because he was incarcerated. So it is possible. It is possible.
But it's so inspiring too that you came from that, where you took a fight obviously in desperate situations, to now you win this fight and it changes your life completely. Bellator, big fights. You've been in big fight scenarios. You've been in the main event of Bellator, and you've been in big fight scenarios. Does this fight matter most? Even though MMA, it speaks for itself. Your record, you're on a huge win streak, and you fought at the biggest stage. Going from that to now fighting on one of the big Showtime cards this year, probably, and you might be pulling the upset and beating Tommy Fury, and this could be life-changing. Like, is this fight different to you than any other fight you've been
in? Well, on a level of popularity, yeah, but in my mind, it's the same fight. I'm not fighting Tommy Fury. I'm fighting myself. You know,
Yeah.
I have to dictate where this fight goes. If I'm on point with my diet, my training, I win this fight with ease. You know, I've never really been hit flush in the face. I don't plan on getting hit flush in the face in boxing either. You know, it's all up to how I handle it mentally. You know, if I'm mentally ready and I take control of this fight, then yeah, my life changes. I see what I need to do in this fight. I'm going to execute it. I'm a glory whore when it comes to the fans and stuff. Yeah, I love it. The more the fans, the better I perform. Yeah, I love it. You know, but I've been in this big time position before, especially in MMA, and I know how to handle myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it just goes back to, the entire card itself. I mean, Jake Paul, yeah, and of course, and you and I talked about this where, I necessarily have the best point of view on Jake Paul, but, seeing what he's done and how much attention he's brought to the game of boxing again. And, I see little things like how he donated to struggling MMA fighters. I don't know, Gabe, if you heard about this too, where, Jake Paul, and this wasn't publicized at all, like it just people caught wind of it, but this woman who was not paid a significant amount of money for her camp was actually donated. Jake Paul actually went to her GoFundMe page and donated money to her, and and bring you on, and how he treated you, and like how he treats you, especially as a training partner and a sparring partner, and getting like actually being on the card with him. This event. I'm starting to turn the corner on Jake Paul as far as a boxer is concerned. And we all have our tendencies, and he's a promoter, obviously. And I'm changing my point of view on Jake Paul, and I just think this event, he's bringing some attention back to boxing. Like, what's your assessment now that you've been in camp with Jake Paul? You trained with him, you shared the gym with him. Like, what's your assessment on him now that you've actually spent a significant amount of more time with him?
Well, Jake is being more vocal of saying, hey, there's still fighters getting paid more money in boxing than MMA. Jake is a really good person. Like, I've been with Jake for 3 months, hanging around with him. The guys invited me to his house to eat with him and his family. I met his mom, I hung out with his brother. Jake is business. This guy's friendly. He's funny. He's caring. He looks after everybody that's around his team. Jake has changed my life financially in every single way. You want to know something so crazy?
Yeah, man.
I've been paid more money being his training partner than I did in my whole career in MMA, in 6 years of MMA. I got paid more money training with Jake Paul in 3 months than I did in my whole career in MMA for 6 years.
Holy shit.
Being his training partner.
Wow.
He could have called anybody else in the world. He could have called Kamal Usman, Dustin Poirier. He could have called Gamebred. He could have called anybody in the world to be his sparring partner, but he chose me.
Yeah.
I left a mark on them when I left the first time I sparred him. I was the guy that they brought in as his main sparring partner. I was the guy who he's hired for me to take out as Tommy Fury. I'm that guy. Now, best believe you hired me to do a job, I'm going to handle that job in a professional manner and get it done for you.
Fuck yeah.
Now, saying that, I'm curious. You went from a boxing training scenario going back to Antonio McKee's. Now, I know that there are boxers that train there, but why did you go back to Antonio's, which is an MMA gym, instead of staying with a primary boxing gym?
Well, right now, Jake has BJ Flores as Jake's head coach, and BJ Flores needs to focus 100% on Woodley. I was just there to get in shape and be Jake's sparring partner, and I would do mitt work with BJ and everybody, but we just felt like, hey, come on back to Antonio, get your striking up. There's other, I can go to Wild Card if I want to, and have Freddie corner me. I can go to Jackrabbit and have them corner me. I just feel more comfortable with Antonio being there because he's like my father. He's my father in a sense. I feel comfortable with him being in there. I I've outstruck. Even if this is MMA, having Antonio in my corner, I've outstruck every fighter that I fought my last 5 fights. You got Chris Avila, who's a boxer. We all know he's just a boxer. I outstruck Chris Avila. Antonio has a plan for me. You see how good AJ McKee is when it comes to striking and how he uses his counterings and everything. I'm gonna be doing a lot more sparring when I go back tomorrow. So, I have a good team around me. I haven't lost in a long time, since 2018, since Antonio really took me under his wing. I'm very confident in Antonio's ability that he's going to get me ready. And if he can't get me ready, best believe he's going to bring in someone and hire him to get me ready.
And Antonio, that entire team are just full of fucking beasts, and like Kimbo Slice Jr. And we talked about this the last show. Like you just saw, Antonio McKee and AJ McKee had the perfect strategy to win against Pitbull. Like that title fight was done to perfection. Gabe, I don't know if you saw the Bellator title fight, but AJ McKee blew me away.
Yeah, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. I thought it was exceptional, but it was an MMA match. It was a head kick and then a guillotine. If you did either of those in boxing, you're getting disqualified immediately. MMA is a very, very different animal than boxing. And that was my confusion. I mean, like if he was getting ready for an MMA fight, I would be like, yo, Antonio is the guy. Like I have nothing but respect for Antonio and his team. But if I was trying to box, I'm going to find a boxing coach. I'm going to find someone that specializes in
right. Well, a lot
that.
of people. Right. Well, a lot of people don't know about this, Antonio. Antonio actually coaches a lot of boxing people who box. He just doesn't like to be. Antonio is kind of like, how would we say it? He's like the villain in the dark shadow. Like how do we put it? It's like Zod from Power Rangers. He's never there, but he hires his minions to do it. Antonio likes to play the back row. He doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want the recognition. He just wants to focus on AJ and the fighters he has. But a lot of boxers come to Antonio, and he trains a lot of boxers. So a lot of people don't know that side because all they see is Antonio is MMA. But Antonio actually coaches boxers too. And we don't really talk about that because we don't talk about boxing in the sport of MMA. But he does coach his boxers. Antonio's been around the boxing game and MMA for so long. Antonio knows, hey, I'm not a kickboxer or Muay Thai fighter. I'm a boxer, and my other specialty is grappling. So every other day, we're going to a boxing gym and we're sparring with other professionals. Why do you think AJ's hands are so good the way he is now? Because he's going to these boxing clubs and he's out punching these boxers, and they're like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing that this kid AJ is kicking ass?" Well, let me show you what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's kind of and that's a very good point that you brought back a couple of minutes ago. But like this in this boxing fight, you're going to be making more money, and obviously you made more money training with Jake Paul and in this boxing fight than you did in the duration of your career. Like as far as like thinking about the MMA game as a whole, like knowing how much money you made and how much publicity you're getting, and obviously you're still Anthony Playboy Taylor. Nobody's better at marketing than you. Especially marketing yourself as a fighter. But as far as seeing how much money you made, training with Jake Paul, this big fight, how much publicity you're getting, have you become a little bit disengaged or kind of felt a little bit? Maybe I should stick with boxing. Maybe like MMA is not all it cracked up to be, as far as because you're training all these different styles. And for half of the money, when you go into boxing, it's one style. you need to specialize in and practice your craft in, and for a lot more money. Like at any point in time, have you said maybe I should just stick with boxing, man? Maybe I should completely stay away from MMA, and this is where the money's at.
When I'm sparring, like I said, when I'm sparring, I'm either boxing or wrestling. I never kick in a fight. I don't kick in practice. I don't like to kick. It's not my style. I'm going to punch your ass up, or I'm going to take you to the ground and grapple you. Now, all I'm doing different is I'm not grappling. So now we're just striking. I'm comfortable with striking. I'm okay with it. I can strike in the cage, and I can strike in the ring. We spar. Like I said, I spar 3 days a week at professional gyms, just sparring and boxing. I can grapple in boxing gloves if I want to. That's all optional because we practice on grappling with gloves on. I'm comfortable. I can transition anytime. I can definitely transition anytime over. It's just my mindset is, okay, Anthony, no wrestling. And I'm not getting kicked, so I already know that. I just got to know not to double leg the shit out of my opponent. Tommy Fury.
I will give you $500 if you shoot a double leg on Tommy Fury. I'll give you $500, sir. Come on.
Man.
Shoot just one double, man. Like at the end of the fight. Like where you won't get penalized for it,
Man, they'll probably give me a warning. No elbows. Let me give about one warning. But I'm not worried about it. Like I said, a lot of people don't know about me. I started off boxing at 18, on and off, by the age of 25. I just ventured into MMA because I was like, oh, that'd be cool to fight in the cage and grapple, I just never took my boxing serious, but my younger brother is a boxer. My older brother, before he got incarcerated, was a boxer. I was always around the boxing scene my whole life. I just never followed that path. And like I said, this was when I was 18 to 25. I'm 32 right now. My goodness, I feel old. But
you're not old, brother. You're not old.
Like I said, thank you. My foundation is strictly boxing, and my ground game is wrestling. Like I just don't like to kick. I hate kickers. Just not my thing.
Gotcha, man. All right. Yeah, obviously you have another interview coming up, and we don't want to take. So, Gabe, final question for the champ, who'll be fighting August 29th. Final question, Gabe.
Are you happy?
Oh, absolutely. You see the smile on my goddamn face? I'm fucking happy.
Good.
I feel great, man. I'm just excited that I'm able to put on a show for you three gentlemen, and everybody around the world. I'm going to perform and do what I do best, and that's win the crowd and win the fight. I have everything to gain, nothing to lose in this fight. And if I lose, they be like, whoa, well, Tommy was a boxer. Well, Tommy fought an MMA fighter. If I win, it just builds my status up even more. I stay with Showtime. I go to Bellator. I go to UFC. It doesn't matter where I go. But I know my ability, and I know my determination. I'm a tough motherfucker, too.
Right. And Charles, sorry.
I have one more question. But it's not really my question. Why do you hate kickers so much?
Question from a fan.
Yeah, man, someone else wrote that. I'm answering.
I can't kick, so suck. It's like
fair enough.
It's like, yo, I can't dunk a basketball, so it's like, fuck you guys. But I can shoot a three. I love Steph Curry. I fuck LeBron James because I can't dunk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wish I could dunk. I wish I could kick, but I'm just not a kicker. So I'm either going to grapple you or punch you in your mouth.
Fuck yeah, man. Awesome, man. And, we all know how your career is going to end up. I'm going to have to call 3 or 4 people to get in touch with you for you to come back on the show. We all know you're going to make it. This is huge. And making this card so early in your career, man.
I'll be giving you first.
I'll be calling you. I'm your hype man.
I'll be calling you.
Listen, brother, I'm your hype man. I'll be calling you, man. Come on. Listen, I'm so proud of you, man. And, it's talking to you. And like throughout the years, seeing how your career has progressed to now you're going to be on Showtime Boxing, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, fighting against Tyson Fury's little brother, and potentially shocking the world. And everyone's going to be talking, no matter what, everyone's going to talk about Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. I am so freaking proud of you. You know, regardless, win or win, because there is no losing. You know, you're gonna shock the fucking world. I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it. And final words, where can we find you? Where can we follow you? Good sir.
You can definitely follow me on Instagram, Anthony_prettyboy. You can find me on Twitter, Anthony_for-real. Or if you can't find me, Google me, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. That'll take you to my Facebook. Also, my TikTok. I forgot my TikTok, but you can type in Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, and there you go.
Dude, you're all over the fucking place. Like, I Googled you right when they announced it. Like, and I knew it was going to be a huge deal when you told me not to tell anybody. And a month later that they announced it, like, this is more publicity you've gotten since shooting your shot at Keisha Cole. Like, I thought you got a lot of publicity there. I'm like, oh, shit. Anthony Taylor's on the news. He's on Yahoo Sports. Now you're all over the place. This is crazy to me, man.
Man, I just know if I win this fight, you might see me in the next Creed movie. That's
you're the fucking man.
Little, you know.
We'll be talking, brother.
I can't say too much about the movies.
Well, we'll be talking. We'll be talking. But
I appreciate Anthony,
I appreciate you, brother. We'll be talking. Congratulations on all your success. We'll all be rooting for you. Showtime Boxing, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. You'll be fighting on that huge card. Congratulations on your success, and we're going to be rooting for you, brother. You're the man. Have a good one, brother.
You too, brother.
Fucking awesome, man. Where'd Gabe go? Hey, Gabe.
What's going on?
Fuck yeah. Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor fighting Showtime Boxing. I'm so glad we're back. Matt surviving coronavirus. Gabe, father of the year. Spending the summer with the little ones.
I'm just happy to be back. I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it back or not. I was hoping Matt would come forward with I mean, not saying that Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor isn't a huge guest, but I thought Matt was going to come up with like Donald Trump or something.
Fuck no. Hell no. And Gabe, I just want to give a big shout out to Matt. Congratulations on beating COVID. I was so happy. Yeah. I knew you were going to make it, Matt. As soon as they saw, well, I told you that COVID was bullshit. I could not be more happier for you spreading your propaganda, knowing that you survived this thing. So, Matt, congratulations, sir. Thank you for beating COVID like a champ, like a boss. How you feeling?
You look pretty good. You look pretty good, Matt.
He looks good. He looks great. Good.
Yeah, he looks white, pasty. Looks like he hasn't seen the sun in like three years.
Oh, shit. I will show you my Gatorade.
And he thinks I'm number one. And he still thinks I'm number one.
Oh,
thank you, Matt. You're number one as well. You're number one as well.
And Gabe, congratulations. Little one goes in the 5th grade. Congratulations, Gabe. Hope you had a good summer.
Yeah. We made it through summer into 5th grade. And it's pretty insane. I'm getting older and older. And Charles gets it. He's white and pasty. You're 100% right. And also, I don't know. Did Anthony Taylor get a chance to see anything that Charles was writing? Because Charles was saying he's not that pretty, and also said that he must have gotten kicked in the mouth.
Oh, why is everyone talking shit? Oh, come on, Charles.
Listen. We have an open platform for people to say, and I think it's important that people utilize their platform. Free speech. I 100% believe in free speech. Unless there's something mean about me. If they do that, then they need to be cut immediately.
And Gabe, congratulations. How's everything going with Kajija MMA and Fitness? Thank you very much for my T-shirt and my merch, by the way. Very happy. Very excited when I got that box opening. How's everything going with your gym?
It's doing awesome. We're looking to expand to a 6,000 square foot facility pretty soon.
Holy shit.
And so it's going very, very well. I can't complain whatsoever. I mean, I'm working 7 days a week, but I could be worse. I could be white and pasty. So,
where can we go to train with a 4-time world champion and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt? By the way, like, how do I go to such gym?
If you were to go to Tarzana, California at kaiju-mma.com, that would be a very, very good source to get all of those things taken care of in one facility. Oh, and as a matter of fact, if the viewers will look right there, there is a fine look at our current location, which will soon be triple the size.
Also, go to that gym, ask for Gabe's autograph on a T-shirt, and tell him that Dave Pyre sent you, so he has another reason to fucking murder me.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't waste your T-shirts and ruin them by getting something that's going to depreciate the profit or the price of a shirt.
As soon as I open up that package, I'm like, it's got to have Dave's autograph on it. I'm like, fuck. Ugh.
No,
so
not
mad
gonna
about
happen.
that.
That's
So
just ridiculous. Dude, you can't wear the shirt that way. It's going to ruin a good shirt with a useless autograph.
I asked for it.
Yeah, there's just yeah.
You're the worst. All right.
So I'm just happy we're back and that we're back in action and that we probably should get on some more MMA oriented stuff. Anybody watch the fights last night?
Yes, I did. And Derek Lewis losing broke my heart because I want Derek Lewis to win so fucking bad.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Because his balls is high. Derek Lewis, to me, is one of the most entertaining guys on the planet. Not only is he he trained at George Foreman's boxing gym. And, he's so heavy-handed and, one shot could put your lights out. And, he's like a regular guy. He's like that regular Joe Schmo guy that has a sweet disposition that everybody in the world knows him. And he's like, I think it's like Ratatouille. I think anyone can cook, anyone can fight, and Derek Lewis is the perfect guy to drive that point home that if you want to pursue this, and I just want him to win so bad. Like I have such a soft spot.
I agree with that. I agree with that. But for me, I want my champions to have a supreme skill set. I don't want just any guy can do this. I don't want the guy that if he hits you, you're going to go to sleep. I want a supreme skill set to be a champion. And in all the other divisions, that's the case. They are supreme skill sets that have the championship belt. Heavyweight happens to be the one where if you hit him hard, they're just going to go down. And I think he is very entertaining, and he can hit anybody and knock them out. But I'm very, very interested to see the guy who beat him fighting Ngannou, because Ngannou is also one of those guys that if he hits you, you go to sleep. But that's pretty much a one pony. He's a one-trick pony. Now, admittedly, it's a stallion of a pony in his hands, but get past that and so I'm interested to see how this. I don't even know the guy's name, but yeah, I didn't watch it.
Does this guy beat Ngannou though? Because Ngannou looks terrifying right now.
I can't hear Matt, and I think this is the best way to interact with him. Matt, we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Nope. Nothing. I hear. He's miming, I think. I'm stuck in a box.
Personally, I'm thankful that the Olympics are over because I had to watch wrestling at 11 p.m. and at 4 a.m. every single day.
USA wrestling fucking taking home some golds and some bronzes. Anyone that says that if you get to the Olympics, you are a stud beyond a stud.
Beyond.
If you get on that podium, I don't care if it's bronze, you are a fucking animal and deserve all the respect in the world. And the thing is, we're not a wrestling. I mean, we have a strong program, but not like we're going to find in the Middle East or in the Eastern Bloc countries. The Russians, like all of the Eastern Bloc countries, are very, very strong wrestlers. And the fact that we have anyone that got gold, silver, or bronze is impressive.
Yeah, and the Magic Man winning in the last 10 seconds was incredible, and probably one of the best wrestling matches I've seen was Hassan versus the Magic Man in the finals, and the Magic Man winning in the last 10 seconds with a double leg takedown. But then Gable fucking Stevenson, the baddest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. And by the way, shout out to Mira, who was the first African American woman from the U.S. to win a gold medal. She was actually a training partner of of the boxer, the boxer that went to PFL and won her first fight.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't think of her name. I know you're talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Completely slipped my mind, but shout out to her for winning a gold medal. But Gable Stevenson.
Well,
holy
let's be
shit.
honest. If your first name is Gable and your middle name is Dan, if you can't wrestle, that you're doing something wrong. Like your parents from birth are anticipating you being a monster, and you know what? He came through with that.
And if you didn't see the match, guys, so Gable Stevenson is down by 4 points. Gable lands a switch, spin around, gets a 2. And then this guy, his opponent, is exhausted. Gable kicks him on the ass, says, "Get up, I got something for you." And the opponent's struggling to get up because he thinks he's just going to stall his balls off and win this. Gable does it again and scores another 2 points in 0.5 seconds. 4 points in a matter of 24 seconds. Like, Gable Stevenson, by far the baddest motherfucker of this entire Olympic wrestling program.
Yeah.
And he's going to WWE too, which I'm excited for.
What's he doing?
He wants to go to WWE, and he's been actually talking with WWE management. So people are talking about him possibly going to MMA, but I have some.
He's going to what management?
He's going to WWE. He's going to pro wrestling.
Oh, WWE. Okay,
yeah,
WWE. I mean, there's way more money in it, but I mean, hey, good for him, man. I want nothing but success, and those that put their on the line, especially amateur wrestling, they don't really get the accolades they deserve. So if that's where he's going to make it, and good for him.
Fuck yeah, man. So before we wrap this up, like a Christmas present, this is our first show back in a while, but Gabe, do you have any parting words for our viewing audience?
Well, I hope everyone keeps watching, downloads it on Roku, Fire Stick, and Apple TV. Hopefully we can get back to it and having the shows weekly once again. And then we have my co-host, Dave, is going to be doing Pancrase on August 28th, if I'm not mistaken, down in beautiful San Diego.
Very excited. Very excited. It's going to be fun. Good times. And
Matt. I unfortunately will not be in attendance. I am celebrating my birthday, so it was either. Yeah, thanks, appreciate that. So, but yeah, I'm rooting for you and want nothing but the best in your Pancrase debut and retirement fight.
Thank you, sir. And Matt, and thank you very much, Gabe. And you're the man. And happy birthday. We'll have a nice birthday celebration fight mixer. Hopefully, another Ask Gabe episode where we can pick your brain about the intricate history of mixed martial arts.
Yes, I don't even know where we I think we stopped it about halfway through.
Yeah, part 1. We didn't even get halfway through my questions. I had a shit ton of questions, like from the beginning all the way during the 2000s, 2010s, huge fucking list of questions. We have to have an Ask Gabe part 2 episode. We got to do
it. See, Matt's all excited. He's all in, I guess. I'm sure. Look at Matt's I want that more than anything. It would actually be the only thing that would keep me alive right now. See, that's what he's saying.
And Matt, any parting words for the guy with no mic right now? Oh, drink our protein. I mean, it won't make your dick bigger, but if you
you know protein, what? The protein is good, but the pre-workout is solid.
Yeah,
you don't get jittery like some of the other ones that I've had. You're doing methamphetamines. It's good.
Right. If you want the next best thing, if you want the next best thing in steroids, remember to go on DrangerNutrition.com and drink some of our great supplements. It's going to be awesome, right, Matt? Matt, can you say something? I can't hear you. Matt,
I have a small penis, and it's okay because I make up with it with my ridiculously large head. That's what I'm saying.
Don't speak if you have a small wang.
Yep.
Oh, got it. See? Okay, fair enough.
Yep. It's okay.
All of our bros and hoes in different area codes with swollen lymph nodes and tiny children. Remember to watch us on Amazon. We're number 8 ranked in the world.
Let's get Amazon, to 5.
We gotta get 5. We gotta get to number 1, baby. Yeah, number 8 in the world.
I know. Let's keep going. I want to get to 1, but we gotta slowly make the rankings. Make 7 next week. Then after that, we're hitting 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we're there. And we gotta keep number 1 as long as we possibly can. When we get to the top, we gotta stay at the top.
Fuck yeah, brother. Amazon, Roku, Apple TV, illegal streaming, drink drinker. Thank you very much from all of us at the Fight Mixer. We'll see you next week for another incredible episode. Thank you very much, boys and girls, from Mr. Gade and Matt signing off from the Fight Mixer.
Perfect.